Hey everyone, I'm in the St. Petersburg area of Florida and I'm about to leave on a trip, and I decided to make a whole vlog series on it. I just stopped at the bank to get some cash for tolls, but I am doing a road trip up to the Chicago area. I have 2 Pearl Jam concerts in Chicago. I also have tickets to a Chicago Cubs game. I'm gonna be staying right around South Bend, Indiana, which is the home of the University of Notre Dame. So I'm gonna be doing a bunch of stuff on this road trip, not just the 2 concerts and the baseball game. I'm gonna find a whole bunch of stuff to show you and experience, and I just thought I would take you along on the journey, even though not gonna be anything Disney related, no theme parks, no Universal, but I'm still gonna get to see a lot of this country, and I love road trips. They're one of my favorite things to do when I have a chance. And these Pearl Jam concerts came up on my schedule, and I thought, let's do a road trip out of it. So join me, like, comment, and subscribe. The next couple days we'll have a lot of fun. I made a brief stop, although not as brief as I would have liked, here in Gainesville, right off of I-75. I needed to get some gas, get some snacks, and I wanted to stop by Tom Petty Park here in Gainesville, one of my 10 favorite artists of all time. Going to see my favorite artist of all time, Pearl Jam, in Chicago. So since I'm on the drive there, I thought I'd pay tribute to one of my other favorites. Just last night, Pearl Jam played a show on this current tour, and they did a cover of I Won't Back Down from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. So that's pretty cool. They are from here in Gainesville. I'm gonna get back in the car and start heading on my way because I still have like 15 hours worth of driving ahead of me. These road trips never seem to feel real until you finally left your first state. So I am in Georgia, just entered Georgia right as the sun was setting. Got some nice shots of the sun setting here in southern Georgia. Stopped at a welcome center, used the restroom, got to take some pictures of the sign, and now it's gonna be dark, it's gonna be night. I'm gonna get to hopefully cruise on the highway here for a little bit, a few hours, make some really good time, and we'll see the next time I decide to stop for something. Had to get gas as I'm cruising through Georgia, and I saw a sign on the highway to a Jimmy Carter historical site on this exit, and I'm like, okay, I'm a little short on gas at this point. I could use another bathroom break. I talked to the people inside. It's 45 minutes from here, so I'm going to skip that for sure. I just thought it might be something to see here as we're getting closer to the middle of the night. I mean, it's still evening, some things are still open at this point, but obviously historical sites aren't going to be open at this point. Just trying to keep myself from being bored, try to keep myself awake, and getting gas right now, and just making my way through Georgia. First of all, Tennessee has a great welcome center here on 75. I'm about to enter Chattanooga, and then we are gonna keep heading towards Louisville and then up into Indiana. So we keep moving overnight here. I was very pleasantly surprised how quickly I was able to get through Atlanta. I have never, no matter what time of day it has been, gotten through Atlanta as quickly as I got through there today. So I'm really happy about that, but we're just gonna keep moving here, keep trucking overnight, and I'm pretty excited with how quickly we've been going through everything. It's about 4:45 in the morning. I can have my next thing of 5-hour energy at 5 o'clock. I had it a little before midnight, about an hour outside of Atlanta. I knew I was gonna need that kick, and I tell you what, it really did give me a boost. Like, I'm not sponsored by 5-hour energy. I don't even necessarily recommend doing all-night trips and relying on 5-hour energy, but I was pretty tired and I had that 5-hour energy, and it really got me ready and raring to go. And I switched up different YouTube videos that I'm obviously just playing the audio in my car, so I went to a little bit more up-tempo stuff, and I have just been cruising since Atlanta, stopping every once in a while just if I feel like I need to go to the restroom, if I want to take some pictures, take some video. And this is just like, I almost get romantic about cross-country road trips. I know this isn't a cross-country trip, I'm just going north on this one, but there's just something about being in a completely different part of the country when you wake up for the day and then driving through different regions. I mean, I'm seeing mountains for the first time since I was in Ireland last year. So just driving through the mountains, seeing different parts of the country, stopping and looking at different houses. I mean, there's just a horse farm right here. It's Kentucky, like right at the border. There's a horse farm, and just looking at some of these beautiful scenes, and I really do get romantic about this. I don't know if you want to call it patriotism or whatever, but sometimes I just love to explore the different parts of the country, of the United States, because it interests me. And seeing people from all over the country, like I'm looking at the license plates here in the parking lot at this rest stop, and there are people from Ohio, There are people from Tennessee, of course, but then there's people from California and Arizona and Pennsylvania and New York and all over the place. And I know it's gonna get bright soon. Sun's gonna come up in the morning, and then it's gonna be like a normal road trip, then it's gonna be like normal driving. But there's something I just really, really love about driving overnight, going to a completely different part of the country and experiencing things, just cranking up the music when you want to crank up the music, rolling down the window when you want to roll down the window, driving through Nashville at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and seeing the football stadium still lit up, and just knowing that some of these big cities, they're awake all night long, you know, like New York, the city that never sleeps. But then some of the little small towns that just have the one person working at the gas station or the convenience store, and you end up talking to that person. Maybe they're bored and you strike up a conversation. You enjoy the bright lights for a little bit to wake you. I'm just always amazed at how much I enjoy road trips, and I have to thank my wife Courtney. I don't want to say she lets me go on these, but that she understands that this is something that every once in a while, a couple times a year, I just have to do it. And she's dealing with chronic illness, so a lot of times she can't even do these kind of things anymore, or she has to decide if she wants to do them. If she wants to put forth this kind of effort to see a concert or something like that. And Pearl Jam announced this tour, and she was like, okay, they're in Chicago. If you can get tickets, you have to go. You haven't seen them in a few years, so you have to do it. And wow, do I just appreciate that understanding that I have a travel podcast. I love to get out there and just get out on the open road. I hiked across Ireland last year. I've driven across the US a number of times. There's something about it. There's something about travel that is just the absolute best. I probably walked about a half mile trying to stretch out my legs here, and I think I'm gonna get back in the car and start driving again. But sometimes it's just really nice to know, like, I may never be here again. And I love that. I just love soaking up all these different experiences. All right, I gotta stop being sappy, and I gotta get on the road. I think that was something worth stopping for on this trip. The birthplace of Abraham Lincoln here in Kentucky. I had to go a little bit off the beaten path, maybe 15-20 minutes off of the major highway, but I think I can get on the highway really quickly now from this location. Saw the birthplace of Abraham Lincoln, something cool, just one of those things that you don't even think about, and you see a sign for it and you decide to stop. So I'm gonna get back on the road. As you can see, it is now bright and sun shining, and just gonna keep my journey moving. So this is Hodgenville, used to be Hodgens Mill, Kentucky. About 2 miles that way is where Abraham Lincoln was born. About 6 miles that way is his childhood home. Now I'm actually going to be heading in the opposite direction. I'm not going to have time to check out his childhood home, but I was able to come here to the town square in this town, and it is really, really cool. I love, as a broadcasting person, that they have the Abe radio station right here on the corner. I love not only the statue of President Lincoln, but also of Abraham Lincoln as a kid reading a book. That's really, really cool as well. So, what an amazing thing to see, just stopping on the side of the road during a road trip. This is one of the reasons that I was telling you how I get romantic about road trips, because you just never know, or you can't even anticipate all the things that you're gonna see. But I definitely now want to get back on the road. I want to start getting closer to Indiana. That's where I'm going to be staying later this evening. And I want to make sure right when I can check in later today that I am at the hotel and ready to check in and get a shower and get some dinner and do all that stuff. So I'm going to get back on the road here. I've been driving all night, and right now I am in downtown Indianapolis. This is Lucas Oil Stadium, where the Colts play their home games. And I just stopped here for a quick couple of minutes. I wanted to see the Peyton Manning statue. I haven't been to downtown Indianapolis since I was 15 years old, and my family was moving from Pennsylvania to California. We stopped here in Indianapolis and had lunch. So this is my first time here in decades. And I was always a pretty big Peyton Manning fan, and I thought it would be great to stop here, a city I haven't been, like I said, for a really long time, and then see that Peyton Manning statue. But as I've been driving the past few hours to psych myself up for the Pearl Jam shows that I have in Chicago, I've been listening to some Pearl Jam music. Sorry, this train is loud as heck. I apologize for that. I've been listening to some Pearl Jam songs as I've been going here, and I am really, really getting excited. And I feel very blessed that I get to do this kind of stuff. It's been something like 7 years since I've seen Pearl Jam, and after the first time I saw them when I was 17, I have not gone more than 2 years without seeing them before this stretch here. So I'm really getting pumped, and just listening to some of their songs, and a song like Breath with the line, go ahead my son, see it all, go see the world. And I remember one time I was running a half marathon in Santa Fe, and I was listening to that song Breath, and I turned a corner as Eddie sang, go ahead my son, see it all, go see the world. And I turned this corner and could see just this huge expanse out in front of me, a beautiful desert landscape. And I was running a half marathon. It was amazing, and just some of those memories come flooding back as I'm getting ready for this show. 2 shows coming up here, so I don't know. I'm gonna probably get really sappy. I didn't expect to be this emotional, but I'm sleep deprived, and I've just been jamming in my car, and yeah, I'm getting real stoked. I'm heading to South Bend tonight. That's where my hotel is this evening. I'm probably gonna have to get a little more gas at some point and get something for lunch before I try to even check in at the hotel. But we're really in the home stretch, and it can't come soon enough because I'm starting to get a little tired. So I made it, but I'm too early to check into the hotel. So I actually picked up a Little Caesars pizza because I didn't know what else to do, and I'm gonna wait a couple minutes. I'll munch on this a little bit, and then I can put whatever's left over in my hotel room for tonight, or maybe for breakfast tomorrow. I am so tired, and I haven't really eaten anything since yesterday for lunch, so I hope this helps me get a little bit of a second wind, enough time to check into the hotel. First of all, wait till I can check into the hotel, then check into the hotel, and then get everything set up for the week. I don't want to just throw everything down there and fall asleep right away, so let's hope I get just that much energy. So not only did they let me check in an hour early, but they upgraded me a room. And when I tell you that I paid $69 a night for this room, this is a really, really nice room here in South Bend. Now, Notre Dame was home for football this past weekend, and they are on the road next weekend. So that probably has something to do with being able to get this room at a cheap rate, but this is when I needed it for Pearl Jam, so I'm perfectly happy to take that. Have a nice setup over here, including coffee maker a microwave, and a refrigerator. I didn't know if I would have all that, so I'm pretty excited to have all that here. And we even have the Golden Dome, a picture from Notre Dame's campus here in the corner. That's pretty cool. I'll probably visit the campus on Friday. If I get a second bolt of energy today, maybe I'll go to the bookstore tonight, but right now I just want to chill for a little and enjoy this really, really nice room. Hey, as you can tell, I am now at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Just thought I would record some quick transitions here. So I ended up going to sleep at 4:30 in the afternoon at the hotel. So that is where I'm gonna end the first video in our series. I'll return tomorrow for Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Chicago for that big Pearl Jam concert on Tuesday night, September 5th. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll have that video for you tomorrow.